We are coming on the air with a CBS News special report. I'm Norah O'Donnell in Washington. We have just learned some breaking news from Kensington Palace in London. The Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, revealing that she has been diagnosed with cancer and is undergoing chemotherapy. Let's listen.
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery. It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment. This, of course, came as a huge shock, and William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family. As you can imagine, this has taken time. It has taken me time to recover from major surgery in order to start my treatment. But most importantly, it has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte and Louis in a way that's appropriate for them and to reassure them that I'm going to be okay. As I've said to them, I am well and getting stronger every day by focusing on the things that will help me heal in my mind, body and spirits. Having William by my side is a great source of comfort and reassurance too, as is the love, support and kindness that has been shown by so many of you. It means so much to us both. We hope that you'll understand that as a family, we now need some time, space and privacy while I complete my treatment. My work has always brought me a deep sense of joy, and I look forward to being back when I'm able. But for now, I must focus on making a full recovery. At this time, I'm also thinking of all those whose lives have been affected by cancer. For everyone facing this disease, in whatever form, please do not lose faith or hope.
And now the dreaded news from London and Kensington Palace that the Princess of Wales has cancer. As she revealed there that she underwent major abdominal surgery in London. At the time, they thought it was not cancer. They released that publicly. But now Catherine is saying that in the tests afterward, they did discover that there was cancer and that they have advised her to undergo a course of preventive chemotherapy. That started in late February. You can only imagine what this is like for a young mother. She is 42 years old, a mom to George, 10, Charlotte, 8, Louis, 5. She has not been seen since Christmas Day. That was nearly 3 months ago. And at the time, it was thought that she was recovering from this abdominal surgery. But of course, in many days, the speculation has grown about her health, the concern about the Princess of Wales, 42 years old, and of course, her husband, William, who lost his mother at the age of 15, Princess Diana, and of course, the King undergoing treatment as well now for cancer. Let's bring in senior foreign correspondent Charlie D'Agata. He is in London. And Charlie, as we heard the princess say, this has come as a huge shock to them, and I can only imagine for the people there, too, processing this news.
Yeah, well, we just got news just a few minutes ago that this was going to happen. It was a 2-minute 15 presentation, as it were. It was filmed 2 days ago. As far as the palace is concerned, they've given us some information. They say she's in good spirits. She's focused on her recovery. She's hugely grateful to the medical team for the care that they're providing. She now needs time, space, and privacy to complete her treatment and make a full recovery. So, as you say, we don't know which cancer or when it was diagnosed. or even when the treatment began specifically, and they told us to stay away from speculation and guessing those dates. Now, as for the timing of the announcement itself, the palace told us they wanted to wait until Easter break, and that's today, when the children are out of school. They wanted time to reassure the children that she's going to be okay, and now they've just asked for media to refrain from chasing out further medical details and to restrain from further speculation. The family may attend church on Sunday, but for any public events, it's hard to know when Kate's going to be back or when she'll be given the green light.
I understand that Kensington Palace has given some information to reporters. What did the palace say when asked what type of cancer this is?
Yeah, well, I'm just reading right off the statement that they gave us. They said once post-operative tests have been completed and results were reviewed, as for guidance, they're not going to confirm specific dates, and they're asking the media not to speculate. So they're really both, what Kate had to say and what the palace had to say are both in line, that it was not diagnosed at the time of her abdominal surgery. It was since diagnosed, but we don't know when that diagnosis took place, or we don't know when the preventative chemotherapy, as they describe it, began. But as you said, you know, there's been so much speculation. She's been out of the public eye for so many months. There's questions about that image that was released. Everybody's been worried, really, about her well-being. So in one way, this will help clear up some of the confusion, but it's also going to raise concerns here about her well-being.
Charlie D'Agata, stand by. I want to bring in our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Jon LaPook, who joins us now. And Dr. LaPook, I mean, this is the worst news for anyone when they learn about this themselves, for their family members. And of course, Princess Catherine is so young, 42, with young children. And of course, she does have a right to privacy. When you read the statement and what the palace has revealed, what were your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it was a big surprise because we had been told that it was not cancerous, and of course our hearts go out to Kate and to her family and all the people around her. I will say there is one thing that, you know, I wondered about specifics, of course. What kind of cancer is it? The devils are in the details. As a gastroenterologist, again, they asked us not to speculate, but I do wonder about the gastrointestinal tract. You know, the colon or the small intestine, and less likely to me would be something gynecologic, but you always have to consider that, or even something else. But I will tell you something that was sort of relatively encouraging to me, Nora, which is they went in there and they were surprised after the fact. So that's, you always want to find cancer in the earliest stages. They went in there to do whatever procedure they were going to do, and they knew it was going to be some prolonged recovery. And in there, when presumably they were able to take a good look, they didn't see any evidence of cancer. And it was only afterwards, when I guess there maybe was an examination of a specimen, a surgical specimen, that they said, oh, there's some cancer here. So since you always want to find cancer in the earliest stages, whatever kind of cancer it is, to me that was a sort of a relatively good piece of news.
Yes, and the palace did speak with reporters off camera. Reporters did ask, what stage of cancer was it? And they're not sharing information about that stage of cancer because they say the princess has a right to privacy. I do want to ask you on that note, because they said she began preventive chemotherapy in late February. What does that mean?
Well, you know, I'm just going to give it for example. For example, with colon cancer, we don't know that that's what this is, but I'm going to give that as an example. If it's, unless it's at the very, very earliest stages, it's typical to give what's called adjuvant chemotherapy, which usually, you know, at least here, it can change from place to place. It's 3 months of chemotherapy, various combinations. It could be pills plus an IV. And the idea is, well, maybe there are some tiny microscopic cells somewhere, and we don't want to give them a chance to grow up. We want to nail them right now when they're not yet, you know, clumped together and growing into big masses. So when you talk about preventive, it's not real. It's really treatment, right? So it's a confusing term, but you're preventing the growth of whatever microscopic cells are out there in the future.
And let me ask you about that. If you're undergoing, just generally speaking, that type of preventive chemotherapy, how does it affect someone?
You know, it can certainly, make you tired. It can have side effects for sure. But I just got off the phone with a cancer expert from NYU Langone Health, where I'm a professor of medicine, and he said, yeah, it can be a rough 3 months or so, if let's say, for example, but then people tend to have 100% recovery afterwards in terms of getting their strength back and getting back to normal function. So I'm an optimist, a realist too. I wish I had more information, but I understand her desire for privacy. And look, the fact that it was found so early and that they kind of tripped on it, they were surprised by it, even though we're shocked by it and she was shocked by it, in the big picture, it's actually relatively encouraging that it was found so early.